Hey, Marianne. Good morning, darlings. One of the things I do, I'm a teacher, I'm a healer, and I'm a mentor, which means that I have a healing technique, a bunch of them actually. And Hi, Jean. Hi, George. Do one-on-one healing with people. Good morning, girl. But I also teach people the same techniques that I use, because they're just so amazingly effective. And there's a group of us that for a year now have been studying the materials of the Way of Mastery. We met in a community where everybody was studying A Course in Miracles. And then the man who wrote The Way of Mastery has a community, and the Way of Mastery community. So a bunch of us have connected. And there's a man who's running something called a desire group, where you very simply ask the question, what is it that you desire, and kind of let the truth bubble to the surface. So he joined us yesterday morning on the other morning platform that we do, and had a whole lot of pain. A bunch of memories from childhood came up. So I did this very simple technique with him, and he's just really, really blown away by it. And it made me realize that the work that I'm here doing, the work that I'm here teaching, that all of us are doing, every time that one person heals, that reverberates out, like when you drop a pebble into the water, it reverberates out into the world. Hi, Lorianne. Good morning, my darling. And so I'm just so committed to that. I want to be able to get this out to the world. Yeshua told me that my prime directive is to reach 1 million people in my lifetime. And I've probably trained a couple thousand people in the 30-something years that I've been doing this. So I have a lot more work to do, but it's so powerful and effective. I mean, the healing that he's 3 hours behind me. So I woke up this morning to like a string of messages of him saying how blown he was away. And could I please share this with people? And I'm like, I share this with people all the time. So my goal is, my vision, my prime directive, my sole purpose is to remind people of their relationship with God. And every time you're able to remove like the darkness, the pain, and the trauma, it brings you like one step closer to God. So I'm living my life's purpose. Anyway, all right, let's get to this. It's great to have you all here this morning. Thank you so much. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just excited. I love being able to bring people back to their truth, bring people back to their light, and help them release the energy that they've been holding on to that's been stuck for them. It's really quite powerful. Lesson 335. I choose to see my brother's sinlessness. Forgiveness is a choice. I never see my brother as he is, for that is far beyond perception. What I see in him is merely what I wish to see, because it stands for what I want to be the truth. It is to this alone that I respond, however much I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. Let me read that again. What I see in him is merely what I wish to see, because it stands for what I want to be the truth. It is to this alone that I respond, however much of what I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. It is to this alone that I respond, however much I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. Okay. I choose to see what I would look upon, and this I see, and only this. My brother's sinlessness shows me that I would look upon my own, and I will see it, having chosen to behold my brother in its holy light. Here's the prayer. What could restore your memory to me except to see my brother's sinlessness? His holiness reminds me that he was created one with me, and like myself. In him I find myself, and in your son I find the memory of you as well. And I think that's what I do when I do these healing processes with people. I see their holiness, and then I help them to bring that forth. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's really cool. Anyway, all right. Here's Magdalene. Greetings, beloved beings, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, mothers and fathers. When we look through the eyes of love, when we are willing to see the truth of a being, the countenance that they are becomes one of love. When we want to find error, when we want to find fault, we will indeed. But all we are meant to do with each other, beloveds, is to love so fully, so clearly, and so purely. When I was a young girl, I was placed into trainings in temples that taught us what it is to be an embodiment of that love. There were exercises that we practiced that let us pierce the veil of the illusion, that let us see truly and deeply the sinlessness which exists in all things, in all beings. And that was indeed the way in which we trained our minds to perceive, to look past whatever the story is that someone has taken into their own hearts to believe about themselves or to believe about the world, to be able to pierce that veil and look to see the truth. There were many of us who were then charged with bringing this understanding and this knowledge and this wisdom to the masses. And that is indeed the journey that all of us are upon. These lessons, beloved Yeshua has brought, whatever of the various modalities that you have come across this truth, is to teach one thing and one thing only, as you well know, and that is that only love is real. When you can look upon another with sinlessness, this means that you have accomplished this for yourself as well. There is naught that you are guilty of, beloveds. You have done exactly what you have been asked to do. And the only modification is for you to allow yourself to experience it with neutrality, rather than feeling guilt or shame or blame or fear. You are meant to love and love only. And when you find that you have come across a brother or a sister who is in pain, who is holding on to a false illusion, who is saying, I must not let myself experience this energy. And yet through that very moment of denial, beloveds, they have continued to perpetuate feeling that existent feeling over and over and over again. And you can allow them the grace of releasing that which they have held on to. You have freed them. You look upon them and you say, oh, this person feels unhappy all the time. Oh, this person is miserable all the time. Oh, this person is so judgmental. Understand, beloveds, these are reflections of yourself that you have puppeted in another. You have said, show me what it is that I am meant to love. And you are given these broken, seemingly broken beings. They are not broken, beloveds. They are teachers for you. So when you can allow yourself enough love to love them through what looks to be fracturing, you will come to see the truth of yourself. There is nothing that is broken, and there is indeed nothing that needs to be forgiven. The only forgiveness, beloveds, is of the mind and the will that has been selfish enough to say that this should be other than the way that it is. What if you could accept that everything is perfect and divine? What if you could come to all situations with a sense of neutrality and divinity and love and holiness and say, thank you for being exactly who you are. I invited you to be here. And I love you. I choose to love you, all of you. And you watch people go through their machinations, but what you do is you stand there projecting a field of love, a field of acceptance, and a field of neutrality. And you invite people to look within their own lives, and they are only ever brought to love. For you are the very essence of that love embodied. And you embody that for them. And through your countenance and through their experience with you, they are brought back to the truth of themselves. Be that light in the world, beloveds. Look upon another and do not look for their sins. Do not look for the places of judgment, for judgment, with judgment. Look for the places of love and you will indeed find them. Blessings to you, most precious, beloved siblings. We are siblings, for we are of one source. And that source is love. That source is truth. And that source is the pleasure of God's grace. So go and have the most extraordinary day. And I will speak with you again. I love you. I pray that these messages assist you in your journey. Sending you all the love in the world. See you tomorrow.